Mike knows he's just not representing himself well today.
Right.
2 balls dropped for Reyes on that break.
Mike's saying it's embarrassing, and when you get to that point where you just want to crawl under the table and die, it's hard. It really is hard to come out of it.
Trailing 3 games to none in what is an elimination set for Mike Siegel.
The tables used are the official table of the International Pool Tour, the IPT, manufactured by Diamond. With the traditional size pockets, which are smaller. The cloth is official International Pool Tour tournament cloth, which is a nap cloth. It's slower than a lot of the worsted cloths being used in a lot of tournaments and tours. The balls are IPT tournament balls. Chalk is International Pool Tour tournament chalk. The finest equipment's being used here. Toughest conditions, tougher than any condition in a pool room, generally speaking.
2 in the corner.
Now, Lori John, is Efren going to have any trouble with that cluster of balls in the middle of the table there?
Well, no, because he's the magician.
A normal human may have.
He's got the 4, 7, and 8 real close to each other. There goes the 4.
Ooh, did he want to do that?
No, he didn't.
He just did this.
He did not want to do
And now
that.
this ball, the 8 ball, doesn't really go anywhere.
No, that was definitely not something that he wanted to do.
So he's going to watch for that. He's going to try to probably knock that out somehow.
As you can see, the 7 ball, I don't know if he's going to be able to shoot this 7 in this corner pocket. If that goes, he has that option, or he has this option with this ball in the side pocket.
And it looks like he's chosen the 7 ball. He's got to clear that 12 ball, too, which he does nicely.
Almost missed.
Okay, not an easy shot here. Almost misses that.
Now he has to make a choice on where he's going to make this 8 ball.
Does the 8 ball go anywhere?
No, it doesn't, and that's why I'm trying to figure out which ball he's looking at to possibly hit the 14 or go into the 8 ball to just break them up.
3 ball in the corner.
You know, it seems to look from this match as though when you put Efren Reyes up on 1 foot, he really gets froggy up there and can hurt you, like Cher atop the piano. He props himself up, and he's real good.
That he is. Now, I think he wanted the cue ball. There's no question. He wanted the cue ball to come over here instead of where he is. So he could have had angle on the 6 ball to possibly try and hit the 8 ball.
6 in the corner.
But that did not happen.
He's got to clear that 10 ball, the blue stripe ball, which he does. These have not been easy shots in this rack for Efren Reyes.
If he goes over here too much, he draws into the 10. They got like perfect on it.
5 in the side.
Hit it.
Okay.
So he was trying to get over here so he could play the 8 ball down here.
Yes. Yes.
And he didn't do it, but now
did not do it.
He can still see it, can he?
Does he have any kind of shot there?
Barely. He has to hit this 8 ball first. He cannot hit this ball, the 14 ball first.
Now, if he doesn't hit the 8 ball first with the cue ball, then Mike Siegel has ball in hand.
Yes. But it is not loss of game.
Correct. But Mike Siegel should be able to run these balls.
There's no question.
You would think.
8 in the corner.
Okay,
now this is
magician.
He doesn't have it.
Oh my goodness.
pool gods. Unbelievable.
Harry Houdini has taken notice from another world because this magician has quite an act tonight.
And that lack of position on the 9, which caused and forced the error of the 9-ball miss. Are they going to come and haunt Efren Reyes? Oh, he's got a bad kick on
he's gotten a kick
1 there, and it's lost position somewhat on the 1. He's made a ball, so he retains at the table. Has he made a ball? Has he made a ball?
Yeah, he's made a ball.
Yes. No, he hasn't.
Oh, no, you're right. It's hanging in the corner. It's Reyes
Oh,
at
yes.
the table. I thought that ball had gone down, and it just stopped right there on the shelf of the pocket.
He gets so used to them always making a ball. That's the first time anybody's come up dry, I think. So the luck not with Johnny Archer. Now, can Reyes rectify his mistake by getting straight in amongst the balls? That's a great shot, but is he going to be punished? Well, he's got some spin on there to stop that going behind the 9.
Yeah, but I'm not sure he has a shot on the 2. Does the 2 pass the 6 for the corner? Or does it pass the 3 ball for the other corner?
No, but he's got options. You know,
yeah.
he could play a very clever shot here. Try and bank the 2 ball up and down the table and hit the 5. He could play a safety shot. He's got a few options to play here, and he's playing the conservative shot. No risk involved in that. Asking the questions of Johnny Archer.
I'm a little surprised he left that much distance between the cue ball and the 6. He's given Johnny more navigating room than
Excuse me, please.
I might imagine that he would
Settle
have.
down over there. Thank you.
Bit of movement in the crowd. Our referee, Michaela Tab, stopping them from moving around. This game of 9-ball pool is a slightly different atmosphere. There's a bit more razzmatazz around, especially in the evening sessions. But even so, you don't want unnatural movements in the crowd.
Well, someone violated Michaela's cell phone rule, and you do not break the rules in Michaela's room.
Referees, not just 9-ball pool, but now referees on the snooker circuit, and was in action at the Crucible this year, first time. Thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Got a couple of column inches in the papers, only a few minor middle page pull-outs. Good referee though, and goes about her business as you would expect a top-class referee to do. Authoritative.
Extraordinarily, sir. You see what Johnny Archer is measuring. It's very, very obvious. He wants to hit this point on that rail, which will send him into a contact with the 2 ball. Is what happens after the contact. I think the contact's almost automatic.
Well, yeah. I mean, the trouble is this level. Johnny Archer's has got to try and work out a way of getting them safe. He'll be trying to hit a certain part of that too. Such is the standard of escaping from these shots. They try and make a ball off of the cushion. It's not come out well.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with this. He's going to be really unhappy with what he comes to the table with next time.
Well, obviously this orange 5 is begging to be made. As long as he makes contact with the 2, he can obviously knock the 5 in somehow. Will he play some sort of combination, or does he not then know where the 2 ball's going to go?
Yeah, I don't like that. I would.
No, you're right. Yes, he's going to try and play with running spin and then off the cushion and contact the 5 and then send the cue ball down towards the 2.
That's a brilliant shot.
Yeah, but
it didn't work.
Exactly. He got too much spin on the cue ball, and the cue ball chased up the table too fast for his liking. 2 went back up the table as the cue ball was coming back down.
Yeah, the brilliant part of that shot was he sent the cue ball in the same direction down the table as the 2 ball, so they should have stayed together and he should have wound up with a shot. Instead, he has a bank shot to worry about.
Oh, well, that's a killer. A killer from Manila.
Manila, okay.
Fair enough. Thanks, I'm sure it's been done. Yeah, I just had to say it once. But you know, what quality of that's a very important shot to be able to play. Well, it was a killer from Manila.
Yes, it was.
If ever you're going to say it, that was the time to say it, surely.
Oh,
Okay.
Watch the side pocket here. Oh, he's got it clear. All right. Efren looking pretty good here.
Not only the ability to play positional play, but banking balls and guaranteeing to bank them, knowing full well if you miss, you could lose the match. There's another discipline that you have to be a master of. Spinning the cue ball round the table. A couple of, oh no, perhaps no, sorry, just holding it in the top of the table for the 7. I've got my order of balls mixed up then. Coming back down the table now for the 8.
Has a really easy job here to get on the 8. The question will be, how does he land on the 8 to travel back up table for the 9 ball?
And once again, Efren Reyes being let off the hook slightly by the misfortune of Johnny Archer not making a ball on the break.
The break shot is the critical shot in 9 ball at this level. On the amateur level, you might come to the table several times in a single game, but not with these boys.
This trails 3-2 in the semi-final to the world number 1, Efren Reyes, the world champion. It's a race to 7.
He just holds his hands up in disbelief. He got some good movement on the 9 ball. That yellow one went into the corner of the right hand pocket but didn't drop. He actually only kicked it forward a couple of inches.
Brilliant break by Davis. Power and control. But here's main man on any street from Manitoba to Manila, from Manchester to anywhere you like. The main man in pool, the man they call the magician, Efren Reyes, the world champion. Got to be favourite to this kind of pool as well. Up to now in the round robin, we've been playing alternate break. This is winner breaks. And in the World Championship, he reeled off 7 to beat former world champion Ralph Suke in one game. And look at that for control.
He was willing the spin on that white to take, bending his knees, hoping that will make a difference. Nicely situated now.
His eyes are nearly a foot above the strike zone. No chin to the cue man, him. At the age of 9, when his uncle's pool hall in Mexico, Pampanga, Philippines, bit on the crate. Just watched and watched and watched. Turned some kids into Wordsworth, it turned some kids into Holbein, and some kids into Shakespeare. He turns other kids into maestros of the Bluebeard. Look and listen, practice, and world great.
Yeah, it's going to be disappointed to play the poor position shot onto that orange 5. He was looking to play the intermediate onto the black 8. Could have run out there. A let off for Davis. Not much of a let off, mind you.
Jim Remby, King James, holder of 89 top World Tour titles. 11 of them World Championship titles. Various forms of pool. Is already in the final. And Davis doing his best. And knowing him quite well, Davis, although he's being dished out some pain by Reyes, he'll be relishing every second of this encounter. Any option that isn't obvious here?
Well, obviously looking to try and disturb that 9 ball at the same time, try and get some movement into it, but I can't see if he's going to be able to kick that across, so well played, well played. That's when Davis comes into his own. I just like the difference in the way they play. You've got Davis, who's robotic in as much that, you know, everything is exactly the same. And you got Efren Reyes. Well, a lot of the time I always think that Efren's not too sure what he's going to do when he comes to the table.
No, he doesn't. No, I don't think he's a thinker. I think Efren has got a totally synthetic picture memory of the last time he saw somebody. It's an amazing amalgam of his own talent and being able to use a shot that he saw somebody else play.
See, like Steve has polished everything from the way he walks, the way he chalks his cue, his preparation before a shot, even the way he sat at the chair. He's trying to give off no body language whatsoever. They used to call him the Iceman, no emotion. So he'd sit there, back straight, looking dead ahead. You see Efren, he just sort of leans forward, looks around the crowd, doesn't really care what's going on.
Yep. Well, it's certainly like chess between the ears now. I don't understand why he doesn't play the orange as to an intermediate ball either way.
I think he's worried. I think he's worried about whether he's playing the right shot because he knows that Reyes is sat in the chair. He's questioning himself. Thinking, have I missed something here? Is that good enough?
Well, probably for me, but I think it may be using intermediate to brown, intermediate to black. He's going, I think, for the bank. Crowd absolutely tense on this semi-final. Whirlpool League. Now it's cutthroat latter stages. This for a place in the final against Jim Rempe. I think Efren thinks there is a 2-cushion bank here. That's what he's after. No. I think against some opponents he would have tried a 2-cushion bank there.
Yeah, he could be right, Sid. Steve acknowledging that shot from Efren, he thought it was a good one.
I don't think there is room for Steve to try a bank middle left. Well, what I think you might be looking at, although this might be total pie in the sky, is the simultaneous contact orange to black, send the black onto the 9, send the 9 left. Possible. See, simultaneous contact's allowed at this, so if he hits the black at exactly the same time as he hits the orange, just watch the line the black takes. Actually, it wasn't that sophisticated. I think that was an attempt to bank the orange. Middle left.
Good chance now for Efren.
Got the crowd absolutely tenterhook this. And ominous alignment of the black and the 9.
No, maybe that's Steve's only chance. That may be his saving grace. He might even try and disturb them. He has. But he was playing.
Or the each-way bet of the plant.
Because
Yeah? He had in mind either disturbance or this plant.
this is a difficult plan.
But actually
Really has
compromise to work the sort of each-way bet. It's very difficult, but it was. I think it was part of the equation in his head. So he's going to drive into the black. Genius at work. A 50-50 shot. He took it right of the black.
Seeing the Chrysler building there, you know, like, wow, that's amazing.
Well, now
I'm an Ohioan, so I'm just visiting.
There's a place in Brooklyn called the Promenade. It's my favorite place to look at the skyline of New York.
Man, it's just an amazing pile of bricks, Manhattan, you know? It's just a...
Yep.
All right, Strickland's shooting 889. Reyes is at 500.
Oh. He did not mean to run into that 7 ball. I couldn't tell if he's going to go for this ball or if he called a safety. He's been playing it pretty close to the vest here. He's more safeties than I'm used to, and I wonder if that's his time playing on the Predator Pro-Am Tour where he's used to the call shot, call safe. You tend to play a little bit more conservative with those rules. And I'm wondering if the time on the tour has given him a little bit more of a familiarity with that kind of play.
I like you guys, and especially I love how it's race to 7. That's so, time-wise, it's just so much better, especially for video. It's always best to just like 45 minutes, be done, not hours and hours and hours for a race to 15. Or
we still have a few players that make it an hour and a half. But
race to 7, 8, 9 at the most. That's good for video. Anything more?
Wow.
All right, look at that. Wow.
Great shot by the magician.
Unbelievable. Yep. Earl's starting to let stuff get in his head. That can be good or bad.
It depends on who you're asking. A lot of people watching.
Yeah, I can't see how many.
There are no jump cues allowed unless they jump with a full-length cue. That's the only way you're going to see any jumping. And he makes contact. I'm impressed he made contact. I just feel like that ball was in such a difficult place already. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Very good shot.
He drove that around so nice.
Efren's just got to get a hold of his, I don't want to say nerves, he's Efren. I don't know what nerves you really have when you're Efren, but got to get a hold of his game.
Yeah, it's definitely nerves.
You think so?
Yes, I watch it. I do this so much.
I guess everybody has, even the masters still get nervous, but.
Yeah, so whatever's going on, he's jumping up and he's twitching around, and that's moving a lot. That's nerves. From my experience, I don't know. But
I'm telling you, it could just be that chess game.
Could be, or he's just warming up. That happens a lot when they're just warming up.
He took a while to warm up yesterday, too. Perfect.
Two to two.
Facebook hat, die gucken dann alle auch und so hat sich das da multipliziert in kürzester Zeit. Unglaublich. Ich wusste gar nicht, dass sowas in der Billardszene weltweit möglich ist. Aber es war wirklich so. Unglaublich.
Ja. Braucht man nicht viel kommentieren hier, würde ich sagen.
Nein, nein, nein. Einfach nur zuschauen.